She wasn't just wonderful.
That's what I always said to the young.
Was one of 5 children. She attended Aranac Eastern High School and graduated from Aranac Eastern High School in 1968 and attended Northeastern School of Commerce in Bay City, Michigan.
Number was different. And so also the words are on the back.
What privilege to carry everything to God in prayer.
Giants rise and winds they roar. I wanna trust you more. You're my rock and steadfast guide. In you my heart abides. Through valleys deep, through deserts dry. When I am alone and need to cry, your hand is my refuge. I will sing, Lord, break me through when I'm weak.
Twice, like in the obituary, it said nobody was a stranger to her, and she loved to love people. It was very clear, even though I was brand new to the area, and it didn't seem to matter to her at all. And I've heard story after story after story of how she loved to organize and to bring people together and to serve people, and all the stuff she did with food. And I'm a man, so food speaks to me. So that's serving people right there.
Who holds the orphan, comforts the widow, cries for injustice, feels every sorrow, carries the pain of his children. Jesus does. So we sing praise to the Father who gave us the Son. Praise to the Spirit who's living in us. When I was a sinner, He saved me from who I was. 'Cause that's what Jesus does.
My tribute to Charlene. She was a remarkable person. She touched many of lives, from the very youngest to the oldest. And sometimes she treated them the same. Or we could go for a scooter ride. Sandy, I know you remember those times. We we rode bikes together around the block, 4 miles. Or we would go through the pasture, walk through the pasture to Uncle Joe's so that we could play with Darlene.
The third day, Charlene, Castiglia, Easter 1987. There was silence and stillness. The earth was barren, the grass was brown, no flowers blooming. The trees had no leaves, the sky was gray. There was no laughter, no one was talking. The birds had stopped singing. Hey, that's right, the third day. I remember now that Jesus said that on the third day he would rise again. Now I remembered this would be that day, the third day. I knew now why Jesus had died on the cross. It was for me. Suddenly, my world became alive. I started to run through the green grass. This is the third day. Jesus is alive. The trees were budding, and the flowers were blooming. Birds were singing. I ran on freaking nuts. I ran over the hills and through the fields of ripening grain, waving in the warm breeze. Well, there's tribute. How do you sum someone up like our mother? Is there even a way? Each and everyone here knows what I mean when I say this. It's an almost intangible description that you try to search for and just come up with words like so much fun, or she laughs a lot and has so much joy, or she loves to plan and do things. But if you know her, these don't seem to quite describe her enough. On the way home from church, I thought if I could title a book about my family, it would be titled Through Tears and Laughter, or Laughter and Tears. I'm not sure which one. A lot of laughter in our house is spontaneous, and I tried to tell them that a lot of the way I am and the things I do on purpose to create laughter in our home. But somehow they don't believe me. Private family jokes like, who stepped on a duck? Or locking me out in the hall at a motel. And not letting me in until I say the password. We won't say the password. Don't ask. Of course, here I am standing out in the hall trying to whisper about letting me in. Or if everyone's in the vehicle and they're waiting for me in the parking lot, they will wait until I get right up to the van and then drive slowly around the parking lot, leaving me there. And of course, there's camping with Olin and Elaine. Remember, this was 30 years ago. And their children, and playing one of my games at 1 o'clock in the morning called A What? And laughing until one of the campers came out of her trailer and told us to be quiet. What an example, huh?
She sang her answers. And some of that was so beautiful. She couldn't put together words, but the music was there. And the music really was there in Charlene's life.
Came to cheer me on. Me and Cameron Gordon were throwing the shot put, and she watched us. And after we were done throwing, I walked up to her for her support, and she says, "I think you should leave the shot put to Cameron."
Didn't know if I could say anything here, but after that singing here today, it was really, you could just see her, I don't know if it was anybody else, but it seemed like every time I sat beside Charlene and we were singing, she kind of raise your voice higher. And it seemed like that's what everybody was doing here today.
So Daddy climbed up on the silo and he saw her in the woods or field, whatever it was at that time, and she had drug this chain across the road, across Turner Road there, and Daddy had to go follow this chain and find her. Another time, and I was pretty young too, I was a baby, I guess. Another time, we were downtown Bay City shopping, and Charlene, was not very old. Somehow she got away from Mom and Daddy and got lost. And I forget some of her experiences, but I remember she talked with a couple of black ladies and rode back to the store that they were at in a police car.
Anybody that knows me knows that I absolutely loved to torment Aunt Charlene. And one of my favorite things recently is they'd be at the yard working, doing their thing, So of course I had to torment them, and I'd sneak in there. It'd be dark. We'd be working on the race car, and they'd be up in the front, and I'd sneak in there, and this was every chance I got. So Mom was in on it too, because she'd see me coming, and she wouldn't say anything, and I'd sneak around the corner, and I'd holler at Charlene, just holler whatever, boo or whatever came to mind. Charlene would jump, and she'd be, oh, honestly, and she'd take a swing at me and always miss. But yeah, I would break most people, but Aunt Charlene just kept coming back for more. She just was, I don't know, she just loved the attention, I'm assuming, so I had to say something.
Charlene helped me tremendously when my mom was so sick. I could never even put it into words how much she helped me both on the ground and emotionally. She helped me in every way like a sister would. I had my longest phone call ever with Charlene one day. I called her after I dropped the kids off at school in California at 8:30 and then hung up when I went to pick them up at 2:50. 6 hours and 20 minutes. I'm really thinking I may have won the Who Had the Longest Phone Call with Charlene contest.
I heard an old story, how a Savior came from glory, how he gave